in my work. Our church worship service lasts 45 minutes. For the last 2 years, I've not been able to stand that long. 2.5 weeks into wearing the X39 patch, the pastor said, "You can now be seated." It dawned on me at that moment that, my goodness, I've been standing this whole time, didn't realize it.
After starting using the technology for approximately 2 weeks, my pain completely disappeared.
32 years of pain gone in 3 days.
I just love the products. They just help me to feel younger and younger year after year.
Thank God for X39.
My skin become younger, softer, firmer.
It's been really amazing.
I love X39 because it really helped reduce the inflammation in my knee. I can now run again. Woohoo!
Welcome, everybody. Good evening. We are recording. Gregory and I want to welcome you to our Monday evening community call, and we love our community, and it's growing and growing and growing. You guys are busy. It's so wonderful. So we get together on Monday nights for updates, training, support, all kinds of celebrating things. And we've got, Gregory's got a special treat for you tonight. And I think we're just going to jump in, aren't we?
I'd be happy to. Thanks, honey.
Okay.
And good evening, everyone. And God, it's hard to believe 2 weeks and 2 days till convention. Oh my gosh. And as most of you all know, online, on-site tickets are sold out. 3,000 of us are going to be gathered together, and many of you are going to be gathered together in Orlando at the Hyatt. But the good news is virtual tickets are still available. They're $129. But for $129, you can fill your living room, your office, your local conference room, or, community center. You can invite as many people over to your home and be there with us virtually. And it's the next best thing to being there physically. So, our corporate partners are definitely working double time. It's crunch time. 2 weeks and 2 days before the convention, the biggest convention ever. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. And once a month, Robin and I and all the other SPDs in the company are invited to a monthly SPD update call. And that was last Thursday. And, David and Meredith and all the corporate execs, Jeff, the vice president of marketing, Ryan, vice president of sales, Dr. Edward, the vice president of Asia, they were all there sharing insights and information about where the company's going and what we might expect when we land in Orlando 2 weeks and 2 days from now. Very juicy call. A lot will be heard by you when we're together, either virtually or physically at the conference. You'll hear it all. But, the sad thing is we're bound by an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement that, we have to promise not to share anything that we hear on that call until the company releases it to everybody. And I got to tell you, David, he kicked off the call and he shared some really powerful stuff with us. And I know he's going to share that and a lot more at the convention. Then Meredith came on, and I got to tell you, she gave such an inspiring, heartfelt talk to us SPDs and why we and our teams needed to be there. After the call, I called her up and says, "Meredith, that was so spectacular. Would you mind if we shared that with our leadership team on Monday night?" And she said, "You're more than welcome to." And I'm going, oh my gosh. So we're going to share with you an excerpt from the SPD so you can see what the XPD monthly calls are like. And this is with the permission of our president. So she sent me the video clip, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to turn the next 11 minutes over to our president, Meredith Berkich. So here we go, folks. The show begins.
Well, hello, SPDs. It's Meredith Berkich here, your president of LifeWave, for a very special edition of our SPD monthly webinar. Today is really a joy as we're getting ready to our incredible Heart to Heart Conference coming up in Orlando in just a couple of short weeks. And the whole office is a bustle, not only here in Utah, but around the world as everybody's preparing to transition and come see everyone. So again, in this special edition, I wanted to kind of step away a little bit from what I usually talk about, and really talk to you about some basics as our top level of leadership, our top tier, about why you should go. Well, you might be asking, of course I know I should go. I'm an SPD and I've already booked my ticket and I've already registered. And maybe you're even going to be coming to the extravaganza leading up to the event. However, I just wanted to do a quick reminder. I've obviously been in the field like yourself, bringing large groups of people to events like this. And sometimes even as a leader, we have a lot of thoughts that are going through our mind as we're preparing to get ready for conventions and travel. And I think it's always important because so many people look to us to be the leaders and to lead by example. And they expect that our belief is always at 100% and we're leading the charge. And this is great. And of course, that's who we need to be for them. But we are human beings at the end of the day. And we're going to an event, and it's not a bad idea a lot of times. I would just say to, do a gut check on our belief too, because, you coming to this event and everything that's going into it and what you're about to experience as a leader, as a part of the community is just as important as what your teammates and your team members are going to be experiencing as well. And so we've talked before, and I know many of you teach on the core beliefs and in a variety of different talking points to that, but fundamentally they're all the same. We're coming there to look at the Lifeway future, and these may be questions that right now you're wanting, to make sure that you're grounded solid in those beliefs and what that looks like. And you're going to have incredible opportunities to hear from obviously David Schmidt and many others that should really help you have a clear vision of where LifeWave is going in the next 20 years in our life experience. And so these are the kind of a checklist for yourself. Certainly, you're going to get to hear from the leadership, many of your peers as well. And then about the products and these areas, you already know all this. I'm not sharing anything with you that you don't know right now, just to be sure that you're kind to yourself going here and don't just run around worrying about what everybody else is going to experience at this event, but looking and understanding that you as the pitcher filled with water that pours yourself into all of the members of your team, that you actually are making sure that you're coming there with some personal agenda of your own to get your pitcher filled as well. Because as you're looking at your core beliefs, so your team is going to be looking at why they should go. Why are they going? If they haven't registered yet, then they can still, obviously it's sold out for the physical ticket, but they can come virtual, and they should, right? And so why should your team go? Again, nothing new, but it's good to just remind yourself that survey says that year after year of all of the dozens of surveys that I've done over time and that you've probably participated in yourselves, there are the reasons that bubble up to the surface about what was their best takeaway. After they left the event, what did the thousands and thousands of people who attended what really meant the most to them. And so again, it's about belief. It's about raising those beliefs. But with a little bit of caveat, kind of putting in the pattern that I've seen through the years, which is really that engagement, because they need to know where the company is going for them to engage. It's like, without hope, people perish, right? It's the same. That's a vision statement also. And so that's why it's really important that if they can't come physically or they didn't get a ticket, that they go and they get virtually signed on. They love the new ideas. So when you're talking to your people, again, they come for new ideas, something that may only just be one or two pearls of wisdom that they take away that's going to make a difference in their life and in their organization. And, that renewed passion, there's nothing the same. And I think that we really experienced that in pandemic times about being in a room with thousands of like-minded people on the same page, walking the same journey alongside of us. It's magnetic, it's energizing, and it's inspirational. The skill building piece, of course, anytime that they get to sometimes hear somebody say something, maybe you've trained on it 50 times, but when they hear somebody else say it, it's like, wow, that's so profound. I wrote it down. And you're thinking to yourself, yeah, well, it's pretty much what I've been saying to you for the last 2 years, but okay. And we know that increase in education will give that confidence that they need, to move forward in their business. And of course, that community. How many times have I heard through the years, and have you heard through the years that it's really a part of belonging, and especially in these times. Of great trepidation in the world where people are suffering with increased depression and feelings of isolation still, even after pandemic is has subsided somewhat, but who knows, who knows what the future holds. We just want to make sure that we cling tightly to each other and look forward to the community that we'll experience. So just a couple of things. You've probably heard before. It's almost a cliche, maybe it is a cliche at this point, but big decisions happen at big events, and they do, and we know that it's true. And so this is again why I encourage, it's a sold out event, but get in contact, get ready to have some conversations with your people. And if we can help you with any literature, any conversations, of course we will do that. But to get them ready in their mindset, because it is about mindset as they approach convention, whether they're going in person or where they're attending virtually. And then again, if you do have those undecideds, have them sign up for the virtual. Those tickets are going, but of course they still have time. So that's good, one way for them to participate. But this really is about helping them to make the most of the investment, excuse me, make the most of the event investment that they're making by traveling or even just setting aside their time. And so I wanted to try to offer something. Again, I'm talking to all of you. You're successful people. You don't need any tips from me, but I can say this, that having been around this incredible sector my entire career for the last 30 years, I have seen the success leaves clues, a pattern with great leaders like yourselves that have sometimes hundreds of people, sometimes even over 1,000 people in their teams that go. And the people that seem to really maximize it, the teams that when you look at their numbers 6 months post convention have the biggest growth, the most the most enrollments, the biggest jumps, the most rank advancements, the most trip and achievements in those months that follow. They always seem to be doing the know before you go meetings, calls, webinars, newsletters, whatever they send out to help their team understand. And of the three things, I've seen a lot of samples. I've witnessed, part of my job that's so amazing is that I just get to watch the most incredibly successful leaders, like many of you on this call as well. And what is it that you do, the magic that you make happen within your groups. And so I think that one of the ones that I hear repeatedly through the years is that really check in with your heart. So, take a heart check before you go, because it's all attached to your mindset, and look at those happiness levels, and what is it? Where are the areas that I need to improve so that I can get my happiness threshold up? There's a couple great books, written about that. A lot of fun. And what is my level of belief? So I know if maybe I'm stumbling a little bit on maybe the products that I know that I'm going to pay extra special attention for one of the many segments that'll be coming up with product education. And again, just making sure that they have that checklist that they've created for themselves to make sure that they can maximize it. Secondly, it's a great time. I hear leaders constantly talking to their teams and say, be honest with yourself as you're going. Don't go there, trying to tell yourself stories. Just be honest and say, I want to walk into this event. I'm going to be prepared to make a decision. And I really want to hear something at this convention that is going to help me make that decision, help me make that commitment, that big decision that's going to happen at this big event happening here in Orlando in a short number of days now. And then again, weighing options, before they go in and say, is my life right now all it's cracked up to be? Is it where I'd hope to be, wrapping up 2023? And if not, come with that open mindset. And I hear the mindset, and many of you, I'm sure, train on mindset regularly. So I would just encourage you to be speaking with them and doing that heart check, doing that gut check, checking their priorities, and then checking the condition of their mind and saying, is it open, or are they going just, kind of looking to be critical and, feel like, well, I can't pay attention because it's, 10 degrees cooler, then I would be more comfortable. Are they going to go with an open mindset that I really am here to learn? I'm really here to advance my business and change many, many more lives, even than I have done up until this point. And the final one that I think is something, again, that I've heard so many leaders say from stage, and again, especially in preparation to convention, know what it is you want. Know what it is that you want to get, even if it's just one thing that you want to take away from this convention, and coach your people and know your top leaders that are coming. What have they told you that they want? So that when you come home, that you can reach out to them and you can say, hey, Jennifer, I know that when you went into a convention that you really, really wanted to get some tips on how to follow up better after you start talking to people about the products, after you patch them up. That you wanted to learn how to connect better. And how did you do? Did you hear a tidbit? Did you network and learn and kind of walk away with that? So I think that that's super important. So again, what do I need to learn? Who is it that I need to connect with? Or maybe not, if I can't connect with them, hand to hand, I can listen in on a conversation that they're having, or perhaps if they're on stage talking, I can pick it up there. And what is the belief of the 5 core beliefs that I need to build? Is it the vision of the company? Is the leadership on the corporate or field side? Is it the product? Is it direct selling in general and the compensation, or is it really in the tools, and is it in myself? Which core belief is it that I'm hoping to believe? And then after that, write a new story. Just write a new story. They can write it in advance and say, this is who I'm going to become after this great event. Quantify it, qualify it, and come home with just a renewed energy to start a new day. You're going to get so many amazing announcements in Orlando. There's going to be lots of things for people to work for, lots of things to look forward to. We're going to be talking about the rest of this year. We're going to be unveiling a lot of information about 2024, because the future here at LifeWave is bright, and we are so thrilled that you are part of it. We'll see you in Orlando.
Hi, everyone. Ryan.
Well, hello, SPDs. It's Meredith Berkich here.
You're on mute, honey. You're on mute.
I hope you all feel as excited about that as Robin and I did when we heard it last Thursday. And then we had the pleasure of having a private call with Meredith on Friday. And it just drove the point home. That's when we asked her, could we play that? And she goes, of course, sure you can, which is a deviation from standard practice on our SPD calls. So, gosh, there's so many good notes. I just want to share a few, and I'll let you share a couple, Robin. But we've been talking about this. Make a list. Know before you go who's going. There should be 3 categories of people on your list. The people that are going to be there on site, you want to connect with them. Maybe have a chat group or, a text message group set up. Know who's going to be there virtually, and know who's still sitting on the fence, the undecided. Because our job for the next 2 weeks is to move those undecided into the virtual. There is a possibility we're going to be able to transfer tickets. We've inquired to the company about that. They don't have a methodology yet. That's hopefully in the works, but everybody can attend virtually. So virtual tickets are still available. So, and I just think it was so great for us all to know what we want. And Robin's always doing that to me. Whenever we go somewhere, she goes, well, what's your intention? So I challenge all of you to know what your intention is when you're going to the convention. And I also challenge you, when you're on your phone with people, find out what their intention is. Know before you go. I think that was so profound. She said that. Know before you go who's going to be there, and know what's their why for going. So those are some of the big takeaways I got. And I'll pass it over to you, Robin. I'm sure you got some too.
Well, that was a wow. It was fun seeing it the second time. And we love Meredith. I mean, she is doing an extraordinary job in so many ways. Well, Victoria put in the chat to us, are you going to do a helpful document checklist like you did last year for the convention. You did a great one. Well, I think we should dig it up because it does help with intention. And I mean, we did everything from, dress comfortably, bring, a sweater or shawl, have comfortable walking shoes. Who do you want to meet? Sometimes the one person that you meet walking down the hallway on the way to the bathroom can change your life. Is there someone that you want to meet? And is there someone you want to have a picture taken with? So like Gregory said, set your intentions now because the opportunity is very soon upon us and there will be a deadline for virtual tickets. So for those of you that haven't gotten them yet, please get them. They do have a deadline and it isn't the night before. Okay. So
October 8th.
It's October 8th. Okay. We have a few days left until that happens. Okay. So I think you and Meredith said it all, and let's continue on, honey.
Well, a couple of more things. I just want to point out, leaders are born at major events, okay? And you'll come away changed. You probably heard it said, and those of you who've been to events know it happens. It'll accelerate your business by 6 months. The people who go to events, they get the fire, they get the vision, they get the belief, they get the passion, and they're going to go for it. So, so the question for you is, how many people on your team are going to physically or virtually be at that convention? Because that'll determine the speed of growth in your business and write a new story. You're going to come away changed, whether you're virtually at home with friends, family, local brand partners, or together with us in the convention center or in the, the convention. It's not in the convention center, it's in the Hyatt Hotel, probably in their convention center, but you're going to come away changed. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There's a few other things we wanted to touch briefly on from our newsletter today. So please hold on. We'll see if we can find a newsletter, bring it back up. And there it is. Thank you, Meredith. And so this is live on Facebook. So the immediate replay will be available shortly after we're completed here today. Virtual tickets still available. Happy to announce we've got a new source for name tags, nagtag.com. Our vendor, doubled the prices unexpectedly without telling us. They used to be $16. They're now $28 at Vistaprint. So I apologize to any of you that bought one from Vistaprint. They weren't that expensive. They weren't that cheap either, but they were $16. Well, these are $9.75 each. Buying 1 to 25. Here's the hot link. There's the phone number you can call. And you need to, Robin, you want to explain the process for ordering these?
Yeah, it's real simple. You just go to nagtag.com and there's a search, look for the Q and just write in, activate your stem cells, and a form will show up. Fill out the form and put the quantity in. You get a 5% discount after 25. So, right now, just get them and get them from you and your teammates and, anyone that's coming that might not have been there last year that doesn't have one, or get an extra for yourself too. It's kind of nice to have an extra. So just fill out the form and do it right away because it takes 3 to 5 days for them to give you the proof and then they'll ship it. So we got time, but if you act now, all right.
Yep. Time is slipping away. Okay. So upcoming events this Wednesday, Lifeway Business Connect, 11 a.m. Pacific and a replay again at 6 p.m. Pacific. Put that in your calendars. I'm not sure who the trainer is this week, but they're always great. And the conference, we all know about that. We put this in last week's newsletter. Just want to remind you again, Michael Jaco, our newest SPD, he did an interview with David Schmidt. Then he did an interview with Connie and Barry Lucas. Then he did an interview with Gregory and Robin Blank Mascari. So all three of those are available. You can go to liveyoungeryoutube.com.
Yep. And let me say a little something about the David Schmidt interview. It's a little prelude to what is to come. Next year is our 20th anniversary, and they are making it a big deal. And there's some new technology coming out, and David shares a little bit in that interview. Not, you don't know what it is, but it's fascinating what he's sharing. It is really fascinating. So, and then one of our new people, they actually told me they watched the interview with us and they learned a lot because we talk about network marketing. So enjoy it. And Connie and Barry were fabulous. So good stuff there.
All good stuff. Getting a lot of positive feedback from our new copperpeptidebreakthrough.com website. So that's there for your use and sharing. And briefly, you want to just run through this week's activities, and then we'll kind of wrap this call up, Robin?
Yeah, we've got Monday morning and Monday evening. Monday morning, those calls are a great way to start the week, and they're great for guests, they're great for customers, and they're great for all of us brand partners. We learn and get inspired every Monday morning, and we carry forward the Testimonial Tuesdays with a practitioner. So the first part of the calls, testimonials, stories, and then we hear from one of our illustrious practitioners, and then there's time for some Q&A. Then there's the Business Connect. Thursday morning, we always do a business training. We typically decide in the leadership call on Wednesdays. We don't think we have anything planned this week that I know of. So that's the week at a glance.
Great. And the Power of the Patch webinar is there for your sharing enjoyment. 6 times a day, 7 times a week. On Sunday, it's Janet Kiefer, Presidential Director. It's Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. On Monday, Friday, and Saturday, it's Connie Lucas. And on Wednesday, yours truly. So we are going to bring this call to a close because we're very blessed to have our enroller and upline SPD, Kai Jacobson, and his beloved Lynette here. And we're going out to dinner. And Robin's ending her fast. So she's very excited about going to dinner because she hasn't had anything to eat from sundown to sundown. So good night, everyone. We love you all. Such a blessing to be with you on this trip and in life and in Life Wave.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.